S.O.A.P is our daily study of the Bible, featuring a scripture, an observation, an application, and a prayer. Good morning. Today's Thursday, October 21st. I'm Tom Tracy, and this is your daily S.O.A.P. Our scripture for today is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 11. But you, Timothy, are a man of God, so run from these evil things. Pursue righteousness and a godly life, along with faith, love, perseverance, and gentleness. The observation is, what are you chasing? And the application, people chase after a lot of things in their life. Money, fame, women, material possessions. Now, we tend to cast that on a really negative light, and that's true for a lot of cases, but there are some cases where that is not a bad thing. You have a man that's willing to take a few extra shifts and get some overtime so that he can earn a little extra money for a family vacation. The preacher that advertises his events to become known so that he can be more effective at spreading the gospel to a larger crowd. The single man that woos the love of his life and is looking for a lifelong partner. The man that buys a new motorcycle so that he can be more active with his club, ministering to those that desperately need to hear the words of Christ. These are all good things. But just as they're all good things, if they're taken in the wrong light, they can quickly go bad. You miss too many family events and jeopardize your marriage because you're working so much overtime. You become too important of a preacher to speak to the congregation unless you happen to be behind a pulpit. The single man that begins to woo multiple women just because he's not sure what he wants to do or who he wants to be with. The man that goes into debt so deep that he can't pay his bills because he wants a motorcycle to run with a club. You see, the things that we want and the things that we can use for good can also be used for bad. Paul gives Timothy a very strong caution here. He says, run away from all these evil things that he had listed in the verses previous. And then he tells him the real focus, pursue righteousness and a godly life, along with. Now, that term along with means that you have to do the first before you do the second. Now, he's specifically talking about faith, love, perseverance, and gentleness, all of which are fantastic and we need to chase after. But as we begin to chase after other things in our life, we need to make sure that the first thing we have in alignment is a godly life. The key is the first part of that section of Scripture. Pursue righteousness and a godly life. If you are pursuing righteousness and a godly life, everything else that you chase after is going to come into line. You won't have to worry about going too far unless you stop focusing on righteousness and a godly life. You see, that helps put everything into context. And it takes the things that people look at as negative, the pursuit of things and the chasing after money and fame. If you look at those in the context of a godly life, they change and they lose their negative connotation and they become tools and instruments that God can use. Pursue righteousness and a godly life first and allow God to give you the passion to chase after the other things that He needs you to have to be effective for Him. Our prayer for today, Father, help me to pursue righteousness and a godly life above and beyond all else, and then begin to focus on the other things of life that you have for me. I trust that the Lord has spoken to you through this message today. If so, do me a favor and hit like and share and send it to a friend. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you here again tomorrow. Have a great day. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and check us out. Surf around, and if you like what you see, do me a favor and mash that subscribe button and hit the bell.